Hello, this is Joe Pearson, the project planner for this application. This is a request for an amendment to the 4 properties development agreement filed by the applicant Jonathan Cornelius on behalf of 4 property, which is the applicant. The action of the Planning Commission on this item is a recommendation to the Oxnard City Council. The project consists of a proposed development agreement amendment to allow for a time extension, fee modifications to define future affordable housing requirements, and off-site maintenance requirements. The 4 development agreement amendment only pertains to the properties identified in Riverpark Specific Plan District B and does not cover the rest of the Riverpark Specific Plan area. No physical development is being proposed with this request. Any future development proposals would be required to comply with the 2030 General Plan, the Riverpark Specific Plan, and any applicable development standards. All future proposals would also be subject to compliance with the State of California Environmental Quality Act. The project is located within the 702-acre Riverpark Specific Plan area at 2700 and 2750 North Ventura Road. The Riverpark area in Riverpark Specific Plan is currently under active development and operation. The area is surrounded by development, including residential to the south as part of the Village Specific Plan, and commercial within the Riverpark area, with only the west side being undeveloped with the Santa Clara River. The general plan land use designation is regional commercial, and the zoning is Riverpark Specific Plan. On December 16th, 2021, the Planning Commission will be separately considering a request for text and map amendments to the Riverpark Specific Plan to introduce a new high-density land use designation within planning districts B, C, and D, which would allow for residential development of up to 30 to 80 units to the acre, as identified in Plan Figure 2B. It would create a new apartment development type. It would revise planning area boundaries. It would update the land use table and would update exhibits for consistency with the proposed changes. The new land use designation would be applied in combination with the existing commercial regional land use under the Riverpark Specific Plan. This would continue to allow for either development of commercial or office or the alternative residential. The overall change will allow for the option to develop up to 1,025 additional residential units under the specific plan in exchange for a reduction of up to approximately 562,457 square feet of non-residential development potential. On November 18th, 2008, the City Council approved a development agreement between the owners of the project site and the City of Oxnard. This development agreement has been amended on only one other occasion, which allowed for an extension of fee modifications. A series of changes are proposed as part of the requested development agreement amendment. These generally include extending the term of the DA for approximately 5.5 years to July 1st, 2028, to set applicable impact fees at the rates effective September 24th, 2018 for the term of the agreement, as opposed to the current impact fees, to waive future Quimby and park fees due to the amount of park space which was built out under the build-out of the Riverpark specific plan area, which far exceeds the city requirements, to adjust the growth fee based on the proposed development populations, based on the census data provided, or based on the research done as part of the addendum that was prepared for this project. To set the traffic impact fee at the rates effective September 24th, 2018 for the term of the agreement. To set the drainage impact fee at the rates effective September 24th, 2018 for the term of the agreement. To adjust the mobility fee based on the proposed development populations and provide a credit towards the new mobility fee based on a credit for the existing bicycle and pedestrian facilities which were constructed as part of the build out of the Riverpark specific plan. The development agreement would also allow the future developer the option of paying the public art fee or providing public art on site to be maintained by the developer in perpetuity. The DA amendment would also identify the inclusionary requirements for future affordable housing developments, set at 15%. And lastly, would allow for a maintenance agreement for the access road with Caltrans. This property is located within Riverpark, and Riverpark itself is located within the North Oxnard Transit Enhancement District, or NOTED, urban village, as defined in the 2030 General Plan. Urban villages are mixed-use areas designed to encourage persons to live near their place of employment and or support services and support the integration of complementary land uses, which are intended to promote a pedestrian-oriented environment to reduce trips and vehicle miles traveled and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This project promotes the urban village concept as it helps to, again, finish the development of the Riverpark specific plan area and promotes the development of infill, reinvesting in the existing community. It promotes the development of a mix of land uses, will promote the development of residential to allow for a variety of housing types and additional mix of residential densities. The development agreement will include a requirement for a minimum of 15% affordable housing inclusionary. The proposed site is along or near corridors and transit nodes and will ultimately help support the transit, pedestrian, and bicycle circulation in the area. In accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, on July 16, 2002, the City Council certified final EIR number 0003 for the Riverpark specific plan and adopted a statement of overriding considerations. The final EIR found four areas of significant impacts which include earth resources, mineral resources, water quality, agricultural resources, and cultural resources and historic resources. There have been 14 prior addendums to the Riverpark EIR, which have each been summarized in the addendum provided. Pursuant to the CEGA guidelines, an addendum to an EIR is the appropriate environmental document in instances when only minor technical changes or additions are necessary, or none of the conditions described in CEGA calling for the preparation of a subsequent environmental impact report or negative declaration have occurred. A subsequent document would be required if the project resulted in new significant environmental effects or a substantial increase in severity of previously identified significant effects, or substantial changes occur with respect to the circumstances under which the project is undertaken, which would result in new significant environmental effects or a substantial increase in severity of previously identified significant effects. Or lastly, if new information of substantial importance, which was not known and could not have been known with the exercise of reasonable diligence at the time the previous EIR was certified as complete. And none of these conditions, as described, have occurred. An environmental consultant under the supervision of the Planning Division staff has prepared Addendum 15 to the approved final EIR to evaluate potential environmental impacts of the proposed project. Addendum 15 was prepared pursuant to the requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act. The addendum evaluated the DA amendment as well as the associated Riverpark specific plan amendment and DA amendment. For all issue areas, the addendum concludes that the project would not result in new or substantially more severe impacts other than those identified in the prior EIR, with the incorporation of the previously identified mitigation. Lastly, the original mitigation will remain applicable. These mitigations will be applicable to any future projects developed under the specific plan. The DA is not a development application and therefore does not require a community workshop. However, a community workshop on the specific plan amendment and a currently proposed 333 unit apartment project was held on August 17th, 2020. Public notice signs were posted on site. Notifications were mailed to the Riverpark neighborhood. Approximately 2,000 notices were mailed. The meeting was held online due to COVID-19 meeting restrictions. 16 members of the community attended this meeting, and various people spoke on the item. The primary concerns identified at the community workshop were walkability and connectivity of the potential housing in District B to adjacent resources. While District B is on the periphery of the Riverpark area, there will be a variety of commercial uses within close proximity. New urbanist principles generally define walking distances as a quarter mile to a half mile, which is a 5 to 10 minute walk. In addition to the commercial development proposed at the adjacent landing area, many of the stores within the collection are also within a half mile of District B. Other than those concerns, comments were generally supportive of the project, introducing additional housing in recognition of the need for more housing. Consistent with public noticing requirements, the Planning Commission hearing was advertised with on-site postings and by mail to property owners within 300 feet of the property. Today, one comment has been submitted in opposition, and no additional comments have been received to date. Based on the information provided in this presentation and associated staff report, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution recommending the City Council approve the Second Amendment to the development agreement, subject to certain findings and the certification of the addendum to the final EIR.